the Army nurse that she was, she gave me his medications, explicit instructions of what I had to do when. And she made me promise he wouldn't eat donuts, his favorites. And she made me promise we wouldn't stop at White Castle. And I said, yeah. I was getting excited. And then she handed me the keys to their fully equipped van with a little bit of hesitation. Did I say I drive, at that time, a Mazda Miata convertible? Tiny car, big van. So we begin our adventure. No map, just a living, breathing GPS unit sitting next to me. One who gets frustrated easily. But the GPS unit had a mental map of all the roads, exits, everything in the Chicago area and the outlying suburbs. We were headed west. He knew, had this mental image of how long it would take to get to each exit and turn off. He had that gut feeling. So we're driving along. And there's one detail I forgot to mention to him. I drive a smidge faster than he had that map of time. Just a smidge faster. I'm a Californian now. We go cruising. So I'm driving along, and we get caught up in conversation. And whenever I drive, I get along with backseat drivers because I just sit back and do my driving, and everybody else tells me where to go. It was no different than the living GPS. I just expected him to tell me where to go, except he couldn't see. So I'd say, by the way, about a couple miles back there, we passed this one road you were talking about. It's like, why didn't you tell me? Well, we were talking, I forgot. I said, pay attention. I'm driving. This was our adventure. Now, I kept true to my dual purposes of the day despite his power over me. And we arrived at our destination about an hour late. Did I say the western suburb of Chicago, which isn't all that far, but we still arrived an hour late. And my uncle and I went to go visit his cousin. Anyway, there was no elevator in this apartment building, and my uncle can't really walk, so we both share the overcoming the obstacles gene. So I suggested, we're trying to concoct how we're going to get him upstairs. And so we concocted that maybe he could wrap his arms around my shoulders and I could kind of drag him up the stairs. And we thought that would work just fine. We both were game for that until we figured out how he would come back down. And exactly, we thought we would just go tumbling. So his cousin saved us that tragic comedy of falling down the stairs. So after a brief visit, we departed for home. And this time I paid attention. I told him what we were coming upon, when we were coming. And somehow or another, we landed in the parking lot of White Castle. Now, I'd never heard of White Castle until a colleague at my work told me about them. She says there's these little tiny burgers. They sell them like 6 to a box or whatever. And you can order them and eat 2 or 3 of them at a time. So we ordered a box. He ate 3 and I ate 3. He ordered a donut or something sweet, and I ordered French fries. And we were stuffed, because all we've been doing is sitting the whole day. We were stuffed, but we felt happy. I made sure he had all his meds, and that was good, but the White Castle part, shh. And I knew I was in trouble when we came into the driveway, and I'm smelling barbecue. My aunt had enjoyed her respite so much, she invited her son and daughter, and her son was doing a barbecue on the grill. And I knew big trouble, because I said we were full.